dimulai dalam beberapa saat lagi. Good morning everyone. Our event will begin shortly and please check your audio connection. Astondo, aman? Astondo. Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi Bapak Ibu dan teman-teman mahasiswa ITS. Salam literasi. Bapak Ibu dan teman-teman semua, kehadiran artificial intelligence atau AI dalam dunia akademik yang tak terbendung sekarang. Dan saat ini AI menawarkan kecepatan namun menuntut kebijaksanaan, dan pertanyaannya bukan lagi apakah kita boleh menggunakannya, melainkan bagaimana kita menggunakannya tanpa kehilangan integritas sebagai seorang peneliti. Dan untuk menjawab tantangan tersebut, selamat datang di webinar kolaborasi Perpustakaan ITS dan Emerald Publishing dengan tema Being Smart and Ethical with AI, a Practical Guide for Researcher and Author. Dan saya, Eva Mursidas, yang akan memandu jalannya acara pada pagi hari ini. Oke, hadirin yang kami hormati, sebagai wujud rasa cinta tanah air dan kebanggaan terhadap alma mater, marilah kita sejenak menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia Raya, dilanjutkan dengan himne ITS. Hadirin dimohon untuk mengambil sikap duduk dengan sempurna. Mas Tondo, please. hadirin, terima kasih. Sebelum kita melangkah ke sesi materi, marilah kita abadikan momen kebersamaan pagi ini selagi semangat kita masih penuh, Nje. Oke, kami mohon Bapak Ibu narasumber, moderator, dan seluruh peserta untuk menyalakan kamera. Open cam sejenak. Oke, Mas Tondo. Baik, saya akan pandu dari sini ya. Pasang senyum terbaik Bapak Ibu. Slide pertama, 1, 2, 3. Slide kedua, pertahankan senyumnya, 1, 2, 3. Oke, Mas Tondo, thank you. Terima kasih Bapak dan Ibu. Silakan bagi yang ingin mematikan kamera kembali untuk menghemat data. Oke, hadirin sekalian, acara hari ini sangat istimewa karena kita kehadiran pakar langsung ya dari penerbit internasional. Yang kami hormati moderator kita hari ini, Bapak Irwan Sukardi. Bapak Irwan, selamat pagi Bapak.
Selamat pagi, Bu Eva. Selamat pagi, Bapak Ibu semuanya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Serta narasumber ahli kita dari Emerald Publishing juga. We'd like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished speaker from Emerald Publishing, Mr. William Lo Wee Loon, Customer Success Partner, Emerald Publishing East Asia. Good mornings to you. Thank you for bridging the distance and joining us today, and we are eagerly waiting to hear your insight on how to negative AI in academic writing ethically. And Mr. William, thank you for joining.
Morning, good morning Ibu Eva. Terima kasih kepada semua. Thank you for inviting and thank you for having us.
Thank you, Mr. William, for joining. Oke, Bapak, Ibu, dan teman-teman mahasiswa yang berbahagia, tanpa berlama-lama lagi, ini yang kita nanti-nanti ya, tentang AI, kita akan segera masuki acara inti dan kita akan mengupas tuntas tentang etika, batasan, dan tips praktis penggunaan AI agar riset kita tetap kredibel di mata penerbit internasional. Dan rangkaian diskusi ini akan dipandu sepenuhnya oleh moderator kita, Bapak Irwan. Bapak Irwan, time is yours.
Iya. Selamat pagi, Bapak Ibu semuanya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Irwan, perwakilan Emerald Indonesia. Saya membawakan Mr. William dari Malaysia untuk bicara tentang etika menggunakan AI sebagai researcher dan juga sebagai penulis jurnal ya, artikel jurnal. I don't want to spend a lot of time. Maybe now is the Mr. William start to present the presentation. Now time for you, Mr. William.
Oh, alright. Selamat pagi kepada semua. Good morning to all. Pak Iwan can hear me, right? Boleh dengar
Yes,
kan?
can. Yeah, can.
Okay, alright. I'm going to share my screen. One moment. Would you be able to let me know? Are you?
Yeah, it's already appeared now.
Okay, alright. Okay, dia. Alright. Good morning dan selamat pagi kepada semua. Nama saya William dari Emerald Publishing based di Malaysia ya. Office kita ada di Subang Jaya. In the near to Sunway Sunway University, Taylor University. Pada pagi ini, in this particular morning, we are very happy to able to share here how to being smart and also how to practice the ethical mindset and ethical adoption here in using AI for today. Bahasa Indonesia William tidak baik sangat ya. Bahasa Malaysia okay. So in most of my slide I prepare in English. Allow me to deliver that in English. In this 2 hour time or 1.5 hour time, I will be also posting questions in the over here. Hopefully, everyone can also join me and voice out your opinion, your comment, your thoughts sekali here. So without further ado, let us go through the session outline. So what do we expect on this particular session here? Sesi ini dibahagikan kepada 4 bahagian ya. Kalau exclude Q&A, terdapat 4 bahagian terutamanya. So the first one is a short video. It is an interview video from William dengan Dr. Hannah Smith. Dr. Hannah Smith is our research integrity manager, the Emerald UK office, in Emerald UK office here. Dr. Hannah Smith will share with us apa tugasan dia, what is her role, how does Emerald uphold research ethics, dan last kali tu, what it means by retraction, and what is her takeaway and her advice for everybody over here. Just a very short and simple 8 minutes here. Lepas tu I would like to ask all of you, what do you know about research integrity? When we talk about research integrity, apa dia first thing that comes into your mind? Same thing, what is publishing ethics and what is the first thing come into your mind? And the last but not least, we wanted to talk specifically about AI policy cara nak menggunakan AI policy in preparing a manuscript and also in the peer review process, and also in, of course, ultimately to successfully publish in international publisher and also the journal. In every of my slides, the slide William ni, I will share my slides in the chat after this. Nanti you can download the PDF here from the Zoom chat. But before that, I also want to update everyone. Di mana every of my slides I would include hyperlink. Jadi kalau peserta-peserta, ibu-ibu, bapa-bapa semua tu would like to rewatch this video or the information provided, you can refer to the link in every of the PowerPoint slide. Okay, I'm going to run the video. Pak Iwan, can you let me know if there's a voice coming up here? I'm going to play the video right now.
Yes, good video.
Thank
Audio.
you. All right. Thank you, Pak. So the first questions are dari William asking Hannah, Dr. Hannah Smith is, would you mind to tell us briefly about your role as Research Integrity Manager here?
Hi, William. Thank you so much for inviting me to talk about research integrity with Emerald Review. I've been working in the field of research integrity for 3 years now, and I've been with Emerald for the last year. And I used to be a researcher myself before that, so I have been on both sides of publishing. My current role as Research Integrity Manager at Emerald is very focused on investigating instances of unethical behaviour, both in our published work and in ongoing papers in review, and amongst our editorial boards. If something goes wrong, it's my job to investigate that. And we do this because we want to make sure that our books and our journals have very high ethical standards. So we're constantly looking to improve these processes. And again, that's kind of my job. I investigate and then we go, okay, what can we learn from this? How do we improve? And by doing this, we're safeguarding our content and we're making sure that our readers can just trust Emerald to provide them with only the highest quality journals and books. Amongst our editorial boards, if something goes wrong, it's my job to investigate that. And we do this because we want to make sure that our books and our journals have very high ethical standards. So we're constantly looking to improve these processes. And again, that's kind of my job. I investigate and then we go, okay, what can we learn from this? How do we improve? And by doing this, we're safeguarding our content and we're making sure that our readers can just trust Emerald to provide them with only the highest quality journals and books.
Sorry, sebab the questions transition move too fast. So if I just want to read out lah the second interview session. The second interview session says that a lot of people is not aware ataupun familiar with publisher role in the integrity, in the quality publication. As a research integrity manager, can you share with us some example role that Emerald is adopting, is playing, role Emerald is playing to commit to the high standard of ethics and integrity?
So at Emerald, we're really committed to being at the cutting edge of new research integrity developments. It's a very constantly changing field. So with that in mind, we're investing in new technologies that give us better tools to tackle common research integrity issues. For example, at the moment, we're very heavily involved with testing new products that can screen papers at submission for integrity issues before they even hit peer review properly. The goal here is to catch potentially problematic articles before they hit peer review so we can assist our editors in making decisions and handling their difficult workload. But we can also work with our authors to make sure that they understand what needs to be improved, or if it is a case of just severe misconduct, that our editors feel confident in rejecting that article. So hand in hand with this, we're always working with our editors, our authors, our reviewers to focus on training them in research integrity issues so that they're very prepared for the peer review process. As I said before, we're looking to improve our processes and we strive to keep our community involved and informed of new policy updates and give them opportunities for personal growth, development and training. Because we're such a small publisher, that comes with a lot of risks, but it also means that we can work very closely with our community and we can make sure that they're always involved and they're confident in safeguarding our content. And it also allows us to really tailor our policies to our journal's needs. For example, we've launched some journals on artificial intelligence, and that requires us to make sure that our AI policies are very clear and that our authors are fully equipped to make the most of their research while still following best practice when it comes to AI usage.
That was the second question here. This is the last question. The last interview sessions, di mana William asked Hannah specifically about retraction. Now, retraction is not a joke here. Retraction is a severe issue with significant impact, which we're going to discuss about this after this video. Tapi kalau if you can see this, from this reliable source from Retraction Watch and also from the Scholarly Kitchen here, it tells us that in 2014, there were only 3.5 retractions. But in 2022, after 8 years, from 3.5, we have then reached to 11.2 retractions per paper. This is very, very significant. It means a lot of paper having quality issue, ethical issues. It could be probably data. It could be probably the way that people is citing, reference, and also plagiarisms dan sebagainya. Alright, so I asked Hannah, what can you share to our younger researcher so that they can perform in the ethical and responsible way? This is a long answer and also the last one.
So I think as all researchers are well aware, the pressure to publish and advance careers is so high and publication is often required for career advancement. And there are a lot of people out there that will take advantage of the desperate or sometimes just inexperienced and young researchers. There's a lot of services out there that will offer you completely fraudulent research. They will offer to help fast track peer review so that your article is guaranteed publication, or they'll offer, an article that you had no part of, and they'll say, we'll put your name on it. These are often scams. You are at a high risk of losing a lot of money if you take part in these. But also, even if it's not technically a scam, if you get caught, that can lead to a retraction of the article, which will very negatively affect future career prospects. We've seen a huge rise in these kinds of scams, and that has led to an increase in retractions.
Yeah.
And I think the bottom line with these kind of scams is if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Please, So for new researchers, I have two bits of advice really. The first is to make sure that you are familiar with a publisher's policies before you submit to them. Every publisher will have a policies page which outlines the rules and regulations around things like AI usage, what is and isn't allowed. AI is such a new topic, so different publishers are very quickly putting out different rules. Make sure that you understand them so that you can make sure that your article adheres to them, which will prevent running into problems during the submission or the review process. At Emerald, we've made our AI policy really clear. We have a table of what you can and cannot do. So we want to make sure that our authors are super confident in submitting to us and they're not breaking the rules there. And then the second bit of advice I would give to a young researcher is back everything up, keep all of your data. No matter how long it's been, make sure you have copies of your data even after an article is published. It is very common for someone to come along and read your article maybe months or even years after it's been published. They might find a mistake, whether on purpose or, it could just be an accident. And if we contact you and say, hey, can you clarify this? Can you send us your data so we can look into this? And you aren't able to give us that information, it can bring your article into question, and then we may have to investigate further. So make sure that you have all of your data ready just in case someone comes along and finds something that isn't quite right. And alongside that, also make sure you document who exactly has been involved in the research process, who was involved in the writing, who was involved in the collecting of data. If you have a record of this, it can avoid messy authorship disputes down the line. If someone's claiming they were involved and maybe they weren't, make sure you have a record of everybody's contribution to the work. And that would be my two pieces of advice.
That's the short video, 8 minutes long, not too long here, tidak panjang sangat. Over here, if I may, to all the ITS Institute Technology Sepuluh November, dear Papa and Ibu semua, what do you think about the video? What have you learned from this particular video? Or maybe if you have any question from this particular video, ada tak? Before we proceed, I want to ask you your opinion and also your, if you have question in regards dengan video ini. What have you learned? Example, what have you learned? Anyone would like to voice out, or anyone would like to put in the chat ke? Ada? Okay ya. Harap ibu-ibu, bapa-bapa semua ada ya di sesi. So now one thing that Hannah said very true, very real happening this year itself is actually backing up your data. Back up your data, that is a real thing ya. So kalau bapa-bapa, ibu-ibu semua just hear the last advice from Hannah. Hannah say, please back up your research data. Okay, in this particular discussion ya, kalau bagi William or bagi sesiapa, bagi semua bapa-bapa, ibu-ibu semua and also student, I think it is safe to say it is easy to back up your data. It is very easy to back up your data, kan? It is easier. Tapi in the actual fact, I have seen and I have also been talking with a lot academic, di mana it is also easy to lose your data. Very, very easy. Example, kalau in a co-author environment, let's say William co-author with Park A1 here in one of these article. And William role in this partnership, in this co-author, is to do the survey, to collect the data, to run the data analysis, and so. Part A1 is focusing more on the literature review, on the discussions, mainly on the writing and proofreading here. Example. And what if, one day my laptop suddenly corrupted, suddenly mati and corrupted, and the data that I back up in my pen drive or in my external hard disk also could not be open. What do you think that will happen when there is other people asking for your raw data, what do you think it happens? So over here, before I move on to my next slide, I want to just quickly show it to you some of the example here of the retractions. Bapak-bapak, ibu semua tahu tak apa maksud retraction? Okay.
Pencabutan.
Retractions. So
Maaf Pak, kurang terdengar Bapak.
Pencabutan, Pak.
Okay, correct, yeah.
yes, pencabutan. Betul.
Okay.
Yes, pencabutan here. So retractions. Retractions is a huge thing here. Bukan main-main. It's not a play thing. And so over here under the MRO, using the MRO, you can search for retraction notice or retraction notice Indonesia. You can find a few. Some of the example here. Let's say this was the one. This was one of the retractions. A paper that was published in 2020 in the Competitiveness Review journal. Kalau tak salah, William is a SSCI journal lah. So it says here, it has come to our attention that a large portion of this article is copied without attribute. Without attribute maksudnya without proper referencing and proper citations here from an early article by the lead author again. So apa maksud dia? So in this particular, these retractions refers to self-plagiarisms here. So the article published did not properly cite or did not properly refer to your earlier article, and there would be an element where a lot of the article or data could be from the same article, yeah. So this is not correct here. So now the guidelines say articles must be original and must not be infringe any existing copyright. Simply means that tidak boleh ya. It's not just self-plagiarisms, but it also means probably this article republished, just tukar here a bit, and resubmit again. So it makes your second article no longer original. It is basically a version number 2 from your first article here. So this is one of the example. But what I wanted to bring your attention is this one here. One moment. This one. Yes, this is the one here. Correct. So this is in the World Journal of Engineering, EICI journal, Scopus Q2, EICI Q2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So the publisher wish to retract this particular article, so and so, so and so, so and so. So it has come to our attention that the figure number 3 is a duplicated of a figure 4A in another article. In another article here. So you can read more, tapi I just want to bring your attentions to this. Further concern were also identified with figure number 4, and so and so. The author cooperated with the investigation. Thank you. But was unable to address the discrepancy satisfactory according to the editor-in-chief, according to the research integrity manager. We were also unable to contact the co-author using the information provided, and because of these particular issues, the findings cannot be relied upon. The findings cannot be relied upon. So these are some of the example, and that. Yes, so this is the last example from the International Journal of Islamic Middle Eastern Finance and Management, SSCI. Wow, this is very high, very difficult to publish. If you're in the finance or in the economic, I strongly suggest you to try this. But very, very difficult, very difficult to publish. SSCI journal. So on this, the author was requested. Now this is the one that I wanted to bring your attention. The author was requested to provide a copy of the data set so that the editorial team could verify. Tapi, unfortunately, the author was not able to provide the data set. Even though the author cooperated with the investigation, tetapi the author unable again to address or to answer to the investigation questions accordingly. Because of that, the editorial team find that the data set, which is they are unable to provide the data set. Because of that, they are unable to verify the article findings, and because of this cannot be relied upon, and we have to retract the paper. So more than often, just want to make my my concern to you, my argument to you that backing up data is very important. Even though it is very easy to do, every one of us pun tahu this is a easy thing to do, a must thing to do, but it is also very, very easy to misplace ataupun unable to provide the data accordingly. So if anyone that comes, 1 month later, 1 year later, 2 years later, anyone that comes back and ask you as the author to provide the data set, the raw data, and you are unable to provide, this is what we do not want it to be happen. This is the one that we do not want it to be happen. So another one point, it's not in my PowerPoint. It's just a sharing. It's a sharing and discussions. I hope to hear your thoughts about this. Tahun ini in this year, Emerald has come out, has reinforced our policy in which that if the author, such as William, let's say William, the author has one paper retracted from Emerald, it is unlikely that Emerald will accept you or your name to be the editorial board member in Emerald Journal. allow me to repeat again here. Kalau William has one paper retracted in Amoro journals, regardless of which journal, when William wants to apply to be a EAB member, to be an editor-in-chief, to be an associate editor for Amoro journal, it will be denied. It will be denied, yeah? So Amoro will deny William application to become editorial members in Amoro journal. So that is the seriousness of a retraction here. It is not a joke. It is not a joke. If you say that tidak apa, Pak William, I don't need to be in the editorial team, then you are wrong. Then you are wrong because your user profile, your user background is already recorded in Amoro backend system. So not only for editorial team, if in the future you submit a paper to Amoro again, your submissions may require in-depth peer review process here, will require more detailed peer review process, just to make sure that they will be there. So just to let you know, just to let you know the severity, the dangerous of having paper retracted in Amoro ataupun in international publisher. Okay, so there's that. Because of time issue, probably I do not going to ask more question. I just wanted to share with you apa dia research integrity. When we talk about research integrity, what comes into your mind? What comes into my mind? To me, originality lah, originality. In Amoro, we have four elements or four pillars that we believed is crucial to be the research integrity. You can read more. Papa, ibu semua can read more about this in this particular link here. William cuma summarized here. You can read more about this in this link. So in these four particular elements, we uphold, the most important one is all is important, all is very important, but one of the element that we always repeat is the honesty. Honesty not only it means kejujuran. It doesn't just mean I am an honest person. Not only that, but it's actually on your application, on your mechanism, on your ways of doing here. How do you adopt a good methods? Are you honest in declaring in monitoring or changing your methods parameter? Example, sometimes when we use a theory, let's say a TPB theory of planned behavior here, or when we want to use a methods, either quali, quanti, or mixed method. For me, I'm learning on how to use PLS, structured equation modeling here for PLS. So some of these, when we want to see the N factor or the P factor, and we wanted to see some of these particular parameter, sometimes we are not honest because we wanted to get the answer that we want. Jadi, we're going to change, we're going to remove one or two or three of this particular mediator here. So ask yourself again, is it the honest way in conducting the methods? So that is just one of the example that I can provide to you. All the rest you can actually can go through that by yourself, and it's very easily understand. Research integrity must be rigorous. It must be double check. It must be cross check, double check, triple check with your co-author, with your supervisor, to make sure that you are using the correct methods, not just the new methods, but the methods that is suitable in your hypothesis questions here. Don't simply just picking three theory and putting in 5 mediator. Yang itu tidak bermaksud rigorous here. No, rigorous simply means that looking back at the literature review and mainly the top cited articles, the methods that they are using, are they the same as you, and so, and if this is same, what are the parameters are the same as well, to be a rigorous, so that you can provide, you can produce the results as per your methods here. Yeah. So about publishing ethics, what is publishing ethics? Publishing ethics will be very long. Again, you can read more on the link here. This is just a summary basis. Tapi for this summary, I can even summarize further. So there are three category I can share with you. Category pertama tu is more on the common sense lah. The common sense is telling us that we have to uphold, we have to use here, we have our research has to be in the highest standards of rigorous testing, cross-check, double-check, and using the integrity manner, guidelines, and so. Original. Now this is common sense. Tapi you can see from the earlier example I can show it to you, a lot of retraction. Also because of it is not original. Yeah, it's not original simply means that probably you are republished again. A lot of this happens the manner you are using back the same data set here as per your first article. So this is what you call salami research, or salami sizing, or salami publishing. Be very, very careful on how you do this salami research or salami sizing. Salami research or salami sizing, it is not advisable. It is highly not suggested. If you say that, hey, this is from a research fund where we wanted to break it into 3 paper, I know why you are doing that personally. I know why you are doing that. Tetapi, please be careful on how you use back the data. Are you going to repeat or copy paste all the table, the figure from the same paper? If you do that, that means that your second paper is no longer original. Yeah, it's no longer original because you are reuse the data set or the the figures that was already published. Sorry. So if you have your manuscript ready, please do not submit to multiple journal. Tidak boleh ya, especially in the same publisher like Amoro. In our system, we are using Scholar One manuscript, Scholar One here, S1. So our Scholar Ones can know that William as an author, has published multiple journal. Even though it does not know it is the same paper, it doesn't know that. Tapi the author or the editorial team may take note that this author have frequent publication. Yeah, so they would just have a notification on that. So this is a common sense. This particular part is on the technical side. This technical side is just to remind you that please follow the publisher guideline. Please follow the journal authorship criteria or authorship guideline, and also the latest one, the latest one, which is the AI policy, the AI requirement, the AI policy, the authorship guideline, the authorship criteria. You have to follow the journal or the publisher citations and reference. So these are the technical part. So I cannot give you good example. Besides that, read the guidelines here from the journal homepage. Go to the journal homepage. You can see the guidelines. You can see the policy. You can see what referencings that they can include. The last sections over here is more for the behavior here, author behavior. Author behavior such as if you have any conflict of interest in terms of the funding, in terms of the journal or the journal editorial team, you are the editor-in-chief, you are associate editor, contoh dia. So you have a conflict whenever to publish in your own journal, you need to disclose here. Or in your manuscript or in your cover letter, please do not write the defamatory or unlawful or unpractical ataupun tidak ada evidence ya, a statement in your cover letter or in your manuscript. Jangan ya, because that is very, very bad. That's actually very, very bad. You may get sued in that particular manner. The last but not least, something that we very commonly known, if you are using any third party or if you're using any theory from the original author, please ask for the permissions to use it. So third party material for the permissions, or if you are doing any human interactions with human or with company, you also required proof of consent. Okay? So proof of consent is something that recently being discussed and recently being required here. One of the example, which is this. One of the example is this. I apologize, besar sangat. Right. So one of the example is this. From this journal, Journal of Fashion, Marketing and Management, Scopus Q1, SSCI Q2, also very high journal here. This journal is a marketing journal, but focusing on the fashion, apparel, supply chain on the the apparel, the clothing, the consumption, dan sebagainya. So if you can see this on the author guideline, you can see that if your article involve human participations, you must ensure you have got the ethical approval from your university or from your center for this particular research, and you also need to include consent form from your participants lah. In this particular submission. So now what type of consent form are required? It depends on your participations, depends on what methods of your participation. Kalau it is a survey, it is an online survey, online questionnaire, probably in your questionnaire and in your survey, please include here, please include one box where you need the people to take in that particular box. You need them to actually tick and say that, I am noted in this particular research. This research is about what and what and what. And this particular survey, by answering this survey or by answering this question A, I'm giving my consent to this researcher, to this research, to use this data, to use my data, to use my answer in their research to publish later. Remember to include this box in your online survey or in your online questionnaire. Kena So in the end, compile all this data, and you do not need to submit in your manuscript, but prepare that as the evidence. Kalau in the future, whenever people is asking for your evidence, you have this evidence in place here. So, but what about consent form? Consent form normally refers to more interview sessions, face-to-face. Either it's an online interview or face-to-face physical interview. You need the interviewee, yeah, to sign off the consent form perlu, yeah. So you will require the interviewee to say that the consent form you can get it either from your university, kalau university or your faculty or your research center has a consent form, you can use it. If not, you can also use a Amoro template here. In this particular link, you can click on this link that will bring you to the consent form. You can use the consent form from Amoro. But the consent form needs to be signed off by the interviewee, to allow you to capture, to save the data, to reuse, to run the data analysis, and to publish the data collected during your interview sessions. So all this it is now required here. It is part of the policy for the data gathering. So do take note here. Do take note on that. So I know our sessions is talking about AI. So far, let me see the meeting chat. So far, Papa, Ibu semua ada tak any question? If it's no, then for the next.
Sorry, we have some question. Do you want to start now or later?
Oh, can because I'll go into the AI. I'll go into the AI after this. Yeah.
Okay,
What is
I
the
will share
question?
Can you? I will share my screen.
Sorry.
Can you see my screen right now?
Oh, okay. Yes, yeah.
This is some question we already provide. This is from Dery Mariadi, Teknik Industri, is Industrial Engineering.
Okay, thank you.
This is the question. Can you see now?
Okay,
In the context of you can start.
In the context of preparing SLR on conceptual paper, okay, what are the essential best practice guideline recommended by MO to ensure methodological transparency and conceptual clarity? Furthermore, could you highlight the common mistake on unethical practices, especially related to AI usage? Does MO recommend the essential best practice guideline that author must avoid during manuscript preparations to maintain academic integrity, improve their chances of publication? Thank you to Ibu here in asking 3 or 4 questions altogether. Now, this is why Derry is thank you to Derry. I tak pasti Derry is Ibu or Pak. So thank you, Derry, for this great question. This is why we are having these sessions. So what these sessions is specifically talking about ethical practices, about guidelines here. If you wanted to know about publications, we can have another sessions on publications. But let me go through the first question. The first question is about SLR and what is the best practice recommended by Amoro for the transparency and clarity. For this particular, in Amoro, there are 2 answers actually. Number 1, using SLR for systematic literature review, the methods are almost the same methods here. So if you have done SLR before, if you have published SLR paper before, most of the times is either using the quantitative methods to do the SLR. You're probably going to use the Scopus database. Some are using the Clever Analytics, but Clever Analytics, not many people have subscriptions to it. Most university has subscriptions or access to Scopus database. That's actually why using SLR in Scopus database, more people are using that in that particular methods, in that particular way data sets. And for the particular methods are mainly the same thing. What are the recommendation by Amoro? There is you can look at the author guidelines. You can see that mainly the best answer that I can give to you is that refer to the top cited. Find one SLR paper that is highly cited. See how they write their methods, their analysis, their sentences, and their paragraph. Learn it from there. And if you can, if you can copy, the structure of writing, yeah, learn the structure of writings and see if you can actually apply into that. That will actually helps you in that, yeah. But I can also share out of the topic. Not many journal would publish SLR. So if you are academics that wanted to focus on SLR, that is okay. You probably would find some success into it. But in general, not many journals, especially the top journal, would accept SLR. The reason why is because SLR does not provide real industry or real impact contribution. What does SLR provide? SLR basically provides the expectation here of 5 years. So you can foresee in this particular keyword, and then you can see in the next 5 years what is the research gap, what could be the gap in this particular field, and so and so. But however, most of the journal does not want to see this theoretical gap. Most of the journal out there now prefer more on the industrial gap. So SLR, if you wanted to try to SLR, you can do it, but SLR, just my 2 cents of advice. SLR may not be may not be accepted in most of the journal here. Then for the rest, like common mistakes on the analytical practices, the use of AI, best practices, these I'm going to cover in my PowerPoint. For that, I'm going to cover in my PowerPoint here. Thank you. The second question, Pak Iwan.
Okay, this is from the Ronald from the Teknik Kelautan.
Pegiat dalam penulisan sehingga terhindar dari pencabutan journal. A lot, yeah, Pak. I mean, not Pak. A lot, yeah. There are a lot of reasons why in terms of the retractions here. I got also one slides that I have covered. I will come to that in my PowerPoint later. The third one.
The third one is from I think Ibu Diana Maulianawati is from the chemistry.
Yeah.
Chemistry engineering is what if I use my own picture from previous publication article in my new manuscript because it supports my new data? Should I cite the picture or is it forbidden to do so?
Oh, okay. Regardless of your own original data source or from other people, as long as the picture, the data, the figures, the tables, the theory, the method has been published before, you need to cite. Regardless of it is your own or not your own. Yeah. So in this particular case, yes, you would need to cite the picture if that particular picture has been published. But because I'm not sure about this statement, tapi kalau the picture has not been published before, it is still in your manuscript, then nothing to cite. You are offering a new concept, a new picture, a new discussions in your manuscript, then nothing to cite. Tapi if that picture has been published before, regardless in a journal, regardless in a book, regardless in a conference proceeding that is in ISSN conference proceeding and things like that, then yes, you would need to cite as long as it has been published here. So thank you for the question.
Okay, that's enough for the question. You can start again for your presentation, William.
Yes, because of time, let me just quickly go into that. So good questions on the AI and also the retractions. Thank you for the questions. Appreciate that. Now I want to talk about AI more. But for AI, there are also a few questions from me. I realize that my time may not have long time, but I would say just to give an answer. Normally, I will ask this question here. Pak and Ibu Suma, do you know when is the first article that was published here with ChatGPT as co-author? When was the first one? Then I will wait for your answer. But for now, I'll just quickly go. The answer was in 2022. Yeah, in 2022. The first article that published with ChatGPT as co-author, it was in December 2022 by the editor-in-chief. So this is an editorial note. It is not a research paper. So it's an open AI platform in nursing education. Is it a tool for academic progress or abuse? Here, it was published in Nurse Education in Practice, volume 66, first issue in January 2023. That was the first one. When this article was published and was out, wow, the community went crazy. The community went viral here. People talking about it. There are many people supporting it. There are also many people, publisher, community, researcher also try to question about the ethical perspective and also the application of it here. My second questions to all following from that is that, do you know how many paper has been published with ChatGPT as co-author until today? Until today, there are only 3, cuma 3 sahaja. To our surprise, probably you can guess there could be more than 100. Most of the time, people will tell me, William, I guess probably between about 1,000 or more than 1,000. Tetapi tidak ya. In the Scopus database, if you go to the Scopus database, you can see there are only 3 articles so far published in Scopus Index Journal. Cuma 3 sahaja ya until today. Now, why is that? So, as a researcher, we has to ask why lah. Well, why is only 3? What is happening over there? It's actually because of the guideline. Very quickly after the first article was published, COPE stands for Committee on Publication Ethics. Now, COPE is not a publisher. COPE is a community like you and me. They consist of people like you as academic, as lecturer, like me as a publisher, as an industry. So they gather all these people where they discuss about the quality, ethical, peer review process, and so. So COPE govern Emerald, govern Elsevier, govern Springer Nature, Taylor Francis, and so. So COPE said AI or LLM model cannot be listed as author or co-author of the paper. The reason why is simple, because AI cannot be responsible. They do not have presence, absence. They do not even have copyright or licensing issue. Example, if you want to sue a people, you can sue William, but how are you going to sue the co-author, which is the AI in that particular published paper? Tidak boleh, ya. So there's a COPE. However, COPE also says that AI can be used in the manuscript, but the author need to be transparent and disclose how it's being used, which is being used, and what is being used here. So very quickly after the launch of the COPE guideline, publishers around the world, Emerald, Elsevier, and Springer Nature, quickly refine our very own policy. So if you have a questions and ask, William, does this policy same across all publishers? Jawapan tu adalah tidak. Ya, tidak. So Emerald have our own policy, Elsevier have their own policy, Springer Nature have their own policy. But more or less, the policies are very similar. Probably about 70 to 80% are similar. The other difference are mainly targeting the journal requirement. Some journal allow allow LLM. Some journal doesn't allow. Some journal allow the picture generated by AI. Some journal doesn't allow. So that is the small difference. In Emerald, our policy is very clear, very simple to understand. If you are using any AI tools or LLM, you will need to flag it. You need to clearly mention it. You need to also transparently return that in where, in where. Most of the people don't know. A lot of the especially the students and young researcher, they don't know where should they write. Where they use a ChatGPT. Let's say you're using ChatGPT, where do you write it? So in Emerald, we say that it must be written, it must be mentioned in methods and acknowledgement. So this is the part that you need to mention here. In the methods and acknowledgements is the part that you need to mention to write it down. Now, how do you write it? You need to write what is the LLM or software or the AI name, what is the version of it, and how you use it here. You use it. So this is how you need to mention that. I give example. In the methods or in the acknowledgement, I'll be saying this. Referring to the results. Referring to the in our methods in our methods to produce the graphical illustrations, we are using Canva AI. Using Canva AI version 3.5 example. Canva AI version 3.5. In using the Canva AI, we are converting the figure, the table that we produce from our SPSS into a graphical design. And this graphical design is shown in the figure 2.1 or 2.2, 2.2a, and so and so. So that is how you should be, mentioned and use it here, written into that. But if you are using, example, Grammarly or Qboard or ChatGPT even to just improve the spelling and grammar mistakes, you don't actually need to write that in the methods and acknowledgement. You don't need, you don't need to write that. But I will explain that further. But it depends on how you do that. Depends on how you do that. So if you I would like to welcome you all to submit to Emerald Journal. It is, if you do not know, it is free to publish in Emerald Journal. Emerald Journal does not ask for APC to publish. As a matter of fact, APC is optional here. Optional. It is free to publish in Emerald Journal, and 85% of our journals is either Scopus Q1 or Scopus Q2, very high. 85% of our journal is in Scopus Q1 and Scopus Q2. And in our submission portal, you can see that there is a reminder again, where we force our author to read and to confirm. So this particular box, you need to tick. Whether you like it or not, you need to tick, because we want you to read that your manuscript, if it's created by author or created by AI, doesn't matter. But if you are using AI, you need to clearly flag it. You need to clearly flag in the methods and also acknowledgement. So this particular box is a reminder, is to remind the author when you're doing your submissions, if you're using any AI or LLM software, AI softwares, so you need to write it in the methods and acknowledgement. So this is a reminder box. At the end of this particular sessions, I just wanted to let you know there are two terminology that you need to remember: copywriting and copy editing. So very quickly, just to let you know, what is copywriting? copywriting? Copywriting simply means that you're using AI to write small part, medium part, all the part in your manuscript. Cannot, yeah? Cannot. You cannot use AI to write for you. Regardless of one sentence, one paragraph, the whole manuscript, tidak boleh, ya. Tetapi you can use AI to do corrections, to do refining works, just only to improve the structure, the language, the grammar. Yang itu bisa. That one, okay, that one can. But you cannot use AI to write for you. Even for hypothesis, also cannot, yeah? Hypothesis, research gap, also cannot. So that's the ethical part. So this is why. So for copywriting, why it is not permitted? It is simple, because the generations, the manipulations, the data and results may be biased, may be wrong. AI is not 100% correct, and all this, statistical reporting pun tidak boleh, ya. Do you know what is in-text reporting of statistics? Basically, you submit, you upload your table and your figure, you ask ChatGPT to write the results for you. Also tidak boleh, ya. For that is also cannot, also cannot. But what you can do is that in the copy editing, what you can do is that you can use the copy editing to improve the language, the grammar, and spelling. Now over here, I want you to take a moment to understand this. Do not upload the whole manuscript to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to proofread the whole manuscript to you. Do not do that, yeah? Do not do that. Because, number one, we don't need to proofread the whole manuscript. Most of the time, proofreading required only on the chapter number 1, chapter number 2, introductions and literature review. So, if you want to proofread or want to improve the grammar itself, be selective. Do not upload the whole one. Be selective on what you are, which paragraph that you want to improve the grammar. If you are, for the sake of discussion, if you have submitted, if you use the whole manuscript and proofread, eventually your result is that your manuscript might be detected as AI written, maybe detected as AI written. The percentage of AI written after proofreading will be very, very high. Now, that is something that we want to avoid. So, if you want to use AI to proofread for you, be smart. Do not proofread the whole manuscript. Be selective on certain paragraph, on a certain content. Do not proofread the whole manuscript, because it may produce a highly AI written a manuscript, which then our system will detect and our system will reject. Yeah, will reject that. So that is the reason why. So over here on the content creations, if in the bio, in the chemistry, or in the sciences, yeah, example in the X-ray or in the radiology, a lot of manuscript use heavily on the picture, use a lot of pictures. Be very careful. In Emerald, we allowed content, pictures, yeah, images created by AI only from the diagrams, illustrations, teaching illustrations, conceptual, and also process flow. In Emerald, we does not accept, we does not allow, we does not permit artistic rendering, cover art, design images, and even abstractical, factual. Cannot, yeah, we do not accept that. In Springer Nature Journal does not even accept any images created by AI. They does not even accept that, yeah. Does not even accept that. Okay, yeah, noted on the time. Noted on the time. So just want to let you know, be very, very careful. A lot of sciences journal having an issue where their picture has been rendered and re-rendered, which makes that their original picture become fake by AI. So that is very, very dangerous. So be very careful if you want to re-render your pictures. I strongly does not encourage that. So that is the use of AI and also the AI policy. If you do not understand what William is talking about, not to worry. In our website, under this link, we have this AI usage table. Di mana it will show you what is permitted, what is not. Yeah, what is not permitted, what is permitted. Example, if you wanted to use AI to copy, edit your abstract, it is okay. But if you use AI to copy, write, to create abstract, cannot. If you use AI to create hypothesis, question, cannot. Yeah. So this is just a quick guideline on how AI can be used. Last but not least, we does not allow our editorial member, our reviewer, to use AI. If you are a reviewer with Emerald or any other journal, my 2 cents advice to you: please do not use AI to review. Do not upload other people manuscript in the ChatGPT or in other AI system, because the systems may reuse the data or the manuscript for their training purposes. But the most reason why we doesn't allow our reviewer to use AI is because we still believe besides in confidentiality, we still believe that reviewers should be accountable, should be responsible to provide their comment. AI, even though it is not always perfect, it's not always it's not always correct or wrong, but we still want the reviewer to consider their thoughts, using their expertise, using their experience, using their experience to provide their comments. Yeah. So that is that. We talk about retractions. So this is to address one of the question earlier. What type of retractions are demanded? There are many types of retractions. Example, unintentional error, self-retractions, retractions over error, retractions of fraud or misconduct, retractions of ethical violations, retractions over data origin. Dia banyak issue. In Emerald, you can see that we also have retractions due to special issue, mismanagement, compromise a peer review because reviewer did not do their task properly, or perhaps they have been using AI and then being detected. Yeah. And the most common one, salami slicing. Yeah. Salami slicing or reuse your original data in multiple paper, and you then declare that is your original work. That is salami slicing here. So these are also type of the retractions itself. Before I end my sessions, I just wanted to welcome you to read more what is happening in the community, what is happening in the world today about the quality, about the peer review, about publishing. There are 2 sources that I can share with you. Number one, Retraction Watch. It is free. You can go to retractionwatch.com. You can see a lot of information. What kind of retractions are there? What kind of issue about ethical? There's a lot of things that you can see. Example, top 10 most cited here, retracted paper, and also how people found the evidence of using ChatGPT in their paper, and so. Another one, which is the Scholar Kitchen, the one that I used in my interview with Hannah earlier ago. In the Scholarly Kitchens, which is official blog by this Society for Scholarly Publishings, which is very good, very well done. They discuss a lot about quality publishing. Very well done to them. So this is one of the example. This is one of the example that I used earlier. One moment. The example that I used earlier, in which that they presented this analysis in 2014. There are 3.5 retraction per 10,000 paper. Nowadays, 2022 has from 3.5 paper have gone out to 11.2. So the significant retractions happening across the year are very, very high. And with AI right now, we actually, we even foresee that this year, next year, or following year, there will be even more retraction, because how people is using AI using AI in writing your manuscript, or to analyze the report, or just basically draft one research and publish using AI. We foresee there will be more and more retractions this year, next year, and following year due to the use of AI. So I think that would be all. I would like to just quickly go to see if there's any questions. If you need to reach out to us, you can inform the library. You can get our contact, Part A1 contact, and also I also include my email contact in the PowerPoint slide. So that is all from me. Part A1, I pass to you for the time. Is there any time for question right now, or yeah?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. William. We already learned about research integrity, publication ethics, and also now about AI. I think it's still okay. Now is have the Bapak Rizal Bayu Anggoro. What is your question? Is not in. Bapak Rizal, ada Bapak? Kalau bisa Bapak, kalau memang belum bisa masuk, kalau Bapak ingin bertanya bisa unmute langsung kalau bisa. Atau memang ini. Oke, kalau gitu kita masuk ke yang berikutnya. Ibu Maulidia dari MA, mungkin Mechanical Engineering ya. MA, this is the question. Number one, is it permissible to cite image from AI and mention the source? And the second one is as in the example mentioned earlier, ChatGPT become the co-author. What are the ethical consideration for using AI output in the paper?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for these great questions. Number one, the short answer is no. Is it permissible to cite images from AI? Tidak boleh, ya. Tidak boleh. So we need to know where AI got the picture in the first place. What is the source that the AI is using to create the picture? You are not how should I say that? We are not citing from AI. We should be citing from what the AI is using the particular source is here. So for the first answer is no. That is very dangerous. It could be even no source at all. The mana it is just plucked from the imaginary or from the cloud. If that's the case, then cannot lah. We are all researchers. We must be based on the scholarly debates, scholarly rigorous checkings and recheckings. So that's the number one. Number two, ChatGPT become co-author. What is the ethical consideration for using AI output in paper? No. So very quickly, the COPE and all the international publisher does not allow any paper published with AI as co-author. So for that reason, I don't see there is any implications. But if you are talking about what was the implication for the first paper, well, it becomes the viral discussions among the community, among the source. People may may question what is the the original source that ChatGPT is using. Is it credible? Is it people will be asking that particular questions. If the author able to answer, he is safe. He or she is safe. Kalau he cannot answer, then something could be wrong in that particular paper. So you must be very careful. Would you like to cite that paper? Which potentially might be retracted in the future. So we do not want to cite retracted paper. That is also a very dangerous one. Thank you for the question.
Okay, and Bapak Ibu kalau ada pertanyaan langsung aja unmute ya, silakan, tidak perlu lewat dari platform yang sebelumnya, link yang sebelumnya, langsung aja unmute. Ada pertanyaan Bapak Ibu supaya ini? Okay, if not question, maybe I will ask the William lah. I want to know about the salamicizing the retraction.
Very good.
A lot of them before my correspondent asking about this because the data is very expensive. Takes time lah. If only using for one paper is very
wasteful. Very wasteful.
Yeah, wasteful. It's very wasteful lah. It's only collect for one. But sometimes if we want, maybe modify the data from the previous paper.
Data cannot be modified. Data cannot be modified.
I mean the methodology lah. Methodology will be improvement or something like that. It still can use or not? See the new perspective lah. The previous paper can be used for the new methods, perspective, and the other paper will use for another perspective. Can be used like that still?
Okay.
Or not?
I cannot answer that question because the questions is not valid. Let me provide my opinion on that. The first thing first, when we collect a data, now what do we do before we collect data? What do we do before collect data? So in our proposal defense, when we have identified this hypothesis or this research gap or this particular research that we wanted to do, before we do literature review, we also study the methods. So when we know this is the method that we are using to collect the data, that is when we will proceed to collect the data. So in other words, the data that we collected is based on the methods that we have agreed. So with that, then we publish that paper. Very simple. So your questions come in to say that if you want to change the method, can we publish that in a later? Yes and no, because most of this data gathering are based on the methods that we have already identified. If you change that method, that means that something is wrong with your data gathering. Something is going to be wrong with your data gathering. So that's for the first part lah. The yes is that if you use the same methods to collect the data, but you are using different software to run the analysis and produce different table set, that could be something that you can explore. So what I mean is that in your data, collecting data is take a lot of time. And also it also can be expensive and so. However, it's not about the method of collecting the data. If I may, I can open your mind to talk about how to discuss about the data where it is answering to your hypothesis. Hypothesis A for the paper A, hypothesis B for the paper B should be different. If it's the same hypothesis, which means that you are republishing your original work. So that one cannot. So your hypothesis is the same for both, then you are basically republish and that is cannot here. So hypothesis that we know must be different, lah. So if the hypothesis is different, or the questions, the addressing of the statement is different, the table and the figure should be different. The table or the figure should be different. So that is where I can answer you. Last answer is that how do people detect salami slicing? So we need to know this lah. How do we detect salami slicing? So we detect salami slicing based on table and figures, based on the result that was published in other paper, and we see that exactly the same thing in the next paper. So imagine, Pak William, me, I have two paper A and paper B. Paper A I published last year, and paper B I'm going to publish this year. And in some of the table and the figures that I'm using for paper B, it is same as table A, but hypothesis different. Question, the statements, the background, everything is different. Literature review is different, but the table is the same table. Now that is where people detect or identify salami slicing. So that is where I can share a few points lah to all of you. Tapi again, salami slicing is not a good way. It's not a good and sustainable way, especially you are under a research funding. Most of the time for the research fund, if you have signed the consent form or NDA, they will probably going to ask how many paper that you publish using this research fund. If you say one, or if you say two, that is okay. But if you answer only one, but in the end you publish three, you may also face a risk. The manner the funder may take action against you if they found that you publish more paper based on the fund that you are given. So that is also another considerations for the funder side lah. Thank you.
Okay, any question from the floor? Ayo Bapak Ibu, ada pertanyaan lagi? Silakan. And Mr. William already sent the PPT, the PowerPoint. You can download the PowerPoint. Any question from here?
If it's no questions, can I share one example, Pak Iwan?
Okay, sure, can. Yeah.
So in my PowerPoint, under the page number 27, under the type of retractions, there's one example for salami slicing. If you bring this link to the website, you can see that under this retractions notice, let me just zoom in. You can see over here now, it says here, it says that article must be original and not infringe any existing copyright. So this is standard. On investigation of this matter, further concern were raised with regard to the data use, where same analysis was employed in the earlier work, which is the first paper, was also applied here, despite the two articles looking at fundamentally different contexts. Two articles, different contexts, same data set. As such, the findings cannot be relied upon. So you get what I mean?
Yeah. Because I know. Because the it's just when like the the PhD student, they publish the dissertation, and one dissertation can be published about 5-6 articles. That's why my imagine is the data will be same lah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How can they publish the more than one article for the one dissertation?
Yeah. You are correct. You are correct. The data is the same. It's just that you don't need to use all the data in one article.
Yes, one article. Yes, correct. Yeah,
You don't need to use all the data. So, example, one article you can include the demographic. The other
yeah.
article you can exclude the demographic data.
Demographic. Okay,
You
good.
don't need to include the same data in two article. That is crazy lah.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, I understand. Good insight lah. Good insight ya. Ya, Bapak Ibu, jangan kalau bisa data setnya jangan di satu artikel maybe kan you have so many filter lah. You have so many filter when you asking the question, you asking the respondent or you use the research. Yeah, you are already asking so many question. Maybe you asking 20, 30 question for your respondent. Maybe 10 question for this article. 10 question again for this article. Different the context will be different lah. The context will be the data set will be different. Even the correspondent will be same, but because you're asking too many question, 30 question, but the data set you send to the different journals will be different all.
Correct. Correct.
Any question from here? Any question? Maybe for about AI? Huh? Okay. Do you understand all about the copy editing and copywriting right now? Okay. You understand all, yeah? Yeah. I believe you already learned about the PowerPoint, yeah, because the PowerPoint have every PPT have the link. You can learn about the link because the link is very detailed. Yeah, like Mr. William said, at least you'll read one time about all the author guideline, publication ethics, research integrity, all you read before you submit. You after that you know what to do with your article, your manuscript. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, because the changing is so much like now after the AI, the even the author guideline, even the research integrity publication is changing. Will be different like the maybe 3-4 years ago is different. That's why you must updating your knowledge about that. Yeah, it's very important. You read again. Yeah, if you want to publish the international journal, you must read again the author guideline, integrated publishing aspect before you submit right now. It's totally different right now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Example, the AI policy, the AI guidelines in our journal. This year, I think they have updated two times. This is actually aligning with the technology nowadays. Example, ChatGPT. ChatGPT 2 years ago was version 3.5. Last year, it was version 4. Now it's version 5, right? It progressed very fast. Even Gemini last week went to Gemini 3. 2 weeks ago it's still Gemini 2. So the technology progression is very, very fast nowadays. And because of that, publishers around the world also needs to adapt to these new technological changes and update them. So always read or check it out. Check the journal. Go to the journal homepage under the author guideline. You can find it. You can find in the upper. Just a quick example. So let's say this Journal of Fashion Marketing and Management, International Journal. So you can see the overview. So this is an overview where you can see aim and scope of the journal for publication. Then if you were to go to the author guideline, so the author responsibility. Last time we do not have this. As in last time, like last year, early of this year, we don't have this. So we have purposely updated this research integrity, research ethics, what is actually included and excluded, COPE guidelines, and also the informed consent on the top paragraph of author guideline. Last time is more for the guidelines on how many words count, what is the abstract, what is the structure looks like, number of words, and so. But now you can see all these are already on top of the author guideline. So this is just an example where you can find the information according to the journal, and that. So every publisher is different, yeah. Not only that, every journal is also different. For Emerald, our guideline is similar for all the journal. Tapi kalau if it's in Springer Nature example, a different journal have different guideline. So you have to check. It's not all journal in Springer Nature is the same. No. Different journal in Springer Nature have a slightly different guideline. So you have to check you have to see what journal and refer to the guideline accordingly. I think that's all from me. Thank you, Pak Ewan.
Any question, Ato? If not, I would like to close this EVE workshop. Thank you so much. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu ya yang sudah hadir. Terima kasih. Ada penutup dari pihak perpustakaan sebelum saya tutup? Any closing statement from the library?
Jadi, ya Pak.
Ya, silakan Bu Eva.
Ini berarti sudah kelar semua ya Pak ini, Insya Allah.
Ya, sudah Bu. Ya.
Oke.
Atau ada kita sudah tunggu dari pertanyaan tidak ada lagi.
Ya Pak, waktunya juga sudah mendekati. Ya,
Oke.
terima kasih Pak Ardi yang telah moderati acara ini dengan luar biasa. And we would like to extend our sincerest gratitude to our speaker, Mr. William Loh. So that was a very insightful and comprehensive presentation. And thank you for sharing your valuable knowledge with the ITS academic community. Baik, Bapak, Ibu, dan teman-teman, sekali lagi ini acara sudah berakhir ya, dan kita sudah banyak ilmu tadi terkait AI. Dan terima kasih banyak juga kami ucapkan kepada narasumber dan Pak Ardi dan Bu Serta yang telah hadir. Dan saya sebagai MC, mohon maaf jika ada kekurangan. Dan sampai jumpa di acara kami selanjutnya. Terima kasih Pak Ardi, Mr. William, thank you.
Thank you, Terima kasih.
Terima kasih juga Bu, terima kasih Bu Eva.
Ya.
Thank you.
Sampai jumpa di acara kami selanjutnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ya, terima kasih Bapak Ibu, terima kasih semuanya.
Terima kasih Bu. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Terima kasih.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, bos.
Thank you.